Kapan?
Pagka mo, di ba, lumabas ka ng toll gate,
Ah.
kumanan ka.
Ah.
Why is that not ours?
No. So, welcome back to our channel for Vlogmas day 19. If you watched our last vlog, we made it to San Fernando in Pampanga, hoping to see the Lantern Festival and also stay in a lovely Airbnb in Lakeshore. And oh my goodness, what a day we've had. It's like nearly 4 o'clock. It took us, what, an hour and a half?
2 hours.
Nearly 2 hours to drive from Lakeshore and back to the main area of San Fernando, rebook a new hotel, and I'll tell you the reason why. So the lady with the Lakeshore Airbnb actually said that it's easy to get grabs here, it's easy to get taxis, Lakeshore's only like 10-15 minutes away, and all of those things are not true. You have to pretty much book a taxi and it's more of a private price as well as a private service, but you don't get that person for the whole day. It's just one run, and each run from San Fernando city centre, like Robinson, Star Mills, to Lakeshore was 500 pesos. And when we got to Lakeshore, this is a very, I don't know how new this development is, I don't know how long this development's been developing, but Lakeshore is not at all what we pictured it would be. Lakeshore is huge and the subdivisions are massive, and the driver even said subdivisions do not look like this. This is insane. And we were lost even in the Lakeshore area. It was just roads of building work and no development and just kind of concrete floors and desertedness. There was nothing there other than clusters of subdivisions, but they were dotted everywhere. So it actually took 45 minutes from San Fernando to Lakeshore, but to the bit we needed to go in, and then the guy said no, you've got to turn around and go all the way back and talk to the people at the reception area. We didn't know where that was. This lady who had the Airbnb never said we had to do that. That was never discussed, so I don't know. And this guy, this taxi person, was already like, he already wanted to go. He didn't really want to take us, to be really honest. He wasn't happy about going to Lakeshore in the first place because apparently it's very difficult to get to and you need a car. So we asked this Airbnb host whether or not taxis were easy, because obviously there's 5 of us and we don't drive, so we need somewhere that's accessible, and she said yep, all accessible, and it's not. So long story short, we had to get the guy to drive us all the way back because I think me and Kev both looked at each other and went absolutely not. So we looked at each other, made that decision, turned the whole car around. Then the guy got lost like 3 times because he's not used to the area, which gave me a great confidence. Then we ended up going on the right side of the road and all the way back, and now we're here in San Fernando eventually. We are in a nice hotel. It cost us like 6,500 pesos, which is eye-watering. It's a lot of money. And also we don't know whether we're going to hopefully get our money back from the Airbnb because we never actually stayed there in the end. So fingers crossed we actually make that back. Otherwise, this is probably the most expensive trip we've ever taken. And it was only meant to be for 1 night. Traveling in the Philippines has proven to be more chaotic and difficult than I thought it would be, especially today. We thought it'd be quite simple, the bus and then like a taxi or something to the mall and then the taxi to the Airbnb and back and forth, almost like Makati, like we would, you know. And we know grabs aren't popular here, so taxis, we were kind of hoping that there would be some. There's not. It's jeepney or trike, and jeepney and trike are great. They're good forms of transport if you are here in San Fernando, but they will not go anywhere outside of it, because we had to go on like the main motorway and you can't get off or on very easily without paying tolls, etc. So we had to pay like 5 different tolls from going back and forth so many times. Yeah, it was just a bit of a mess. Honestly, this is the honest truth of traveling in the Philippines. Baguio looks like an absolute breeze because Baguio has taxis, and that is brilliant. Taxis, we have to have taxis wherever we are, or I think we just need to book somewhere that is dead centre where we are, so we can walk. So walking or taxis is just what we need to look out for next time. Admittedly, it's kind of our fault. We didn't realise. We were being told one thing and it ended up not being that at all. I just think next time we're just going to have to be a little bit more diligent in where we pick. But we also wanted to come on here and be honest about what's going on, because it's not easy. And we're meant to be leaving tomorrow, and I already feel like I just want to go home already, but we're going to stay here tonight. We get a free breakfast tomorrow, thank God. And hopefully the bus home to Passy is easy. And hopefully the Lantern Festival is worth it. Let's see. I really hope so. We can't wait to go and see it. So we're going to take a few moments to have a breather, maybe shower off. It's quite warm here in Pampanga. Yeah, I've got a huge headache and I feel really stressed and really anxious. But that's what's happened right now. It's turned into a little bit of a disaster. I think I'll be happy if we get our money back from the Airbnb. That would make me feel a lot better. And hopefully it's easy to walk to the Lantern Festival because we're not too far away, but also there's not many jeepneys or trikes that come into this area that we're in. So we'll see. To make up for lost time today, we'll just give you a little room tour. We've got 2 queen-size beds with mattresses that are thicker than any mattress I've ever seen here in the Philippines. It's insane. So that's going to be hopefully a very good night's sleep. And then we've got like a little coffee station, fridge, wardrobes just here. There's an interim door, obviously, if you want to join 2 rooms together, but we didn't need that. The kids can share one of these massive beds. And then we've got the bathroom, which you won't be able to see because we are currently, you can kind of see it. We are out of electricity. Yeah, so as you can see, like, none of the lights are working at the moment, and the aircon won't work, and the TV won't work. So I've had to call maintenance. Fingers crossed it all gets sorted. To say I'm mildly frustrated would be an understatement. Like I said, I'm really anxious, especially when it comes to traveling. So when things go wrong, I get really nervous about it. So I'm hoping that this will just sort itself out in some way or another. Hopefully maintenance won't be too long because it is boiling in here. It's really, really warm and we need the aircon on. But yeah, that was the room tour. We've also got this nice little bench seat. The bench seat just goes across here, which is really nice because you can see the view out the window. Obviously the car park's not the most delightful view, but that's fine. But you can see the mountain over there, and I'll put the name of the mountain on the screen. I know what it's called, but I don't want to pronounce it and get it wrong. There's also a swimming pool, but we didn't bring any swimming clothes today just because we didn't think we were gonna have access to a pool because our plans changed, obviously. So yeah, it's not too bad. Have electric. We've got electric. There's a good film on for the kids. The aircon's now working, which is great because I was starting to feel a bit stuffy. And we're hoping that there's no issues going to the Lantern Festival tonight. I think luckily we probably won't even need to get any form of transportation. We'll just be able to walk down there and walk back, which is nice because I can imagine it's going to get busy. It always looks busy when we've watched back on other videos. Yeah, I need some headache tablets, I think, and then I'll start feeling a little bit better. So I'm sorry this video started off so negative. I think, to be honest, it was a massive fault of ours. So before anybody gets offended by what I've said, it's not easy to get around this country, especially with 3 children. And to be honest, you just need a car. You really do need a car, especially Luzon. I think if you were going to like a resort on one of the islands, it seems like it's a simpler process. Let me know if I'm completely wrong with that. But if anybody has any like tips for getting around easy, then let me know. Because like we really wanted to go to Batangas, and that's proving to be similarly tricky. Like without your own car, it's just really hard to find somewhere and how to get places that are out of the way of the main cities. Yeah, so let me know if you've got any tips for going there, because that's hopefully our next destination. And if it's not, then we'll just be staying in Makati for a little while longer. We'll have to book like a proper trip to one of the islands at some point and see see how much simpler it is, but it's really scared me a little bit. But it's all part of travel. Like, travel is not simple, and it's really not as glamorous or as easy as some channels make it out to be. And sometimes it is. Sometimes it's really easy. Baguio was really easy. Being in Makati is really easy. Those sorts of places are quite simple. But when you're coming out to like the middle of nowhere in the provinces, it's a lot harder, unless obviously, like I said, you've got your own vehicle. So we've all had a bit of a rest and a relaxation. I'm feeling a little bit more better with my headache, which is great. So we're gonna head out to the Lantern Festival. It's gonna be really interesting. We've never done anything like this before. We have obviously seen all the Christmassy goings on back in Makati. So this is our first experience of being outside of Makati in a new province with Christmassy decorations. So I'm really excited. However, we are gonna cut it here, and you're gonna have to watch Pampanga Part 3 to see the lanterns. We are gonna head out now. It's just gone 5. It starts at 6, and we're around 5 to 15 minutes away from the mall. So walking wise, it's probably gonna take us around 10 minutes. So not too long. Yeah, you wanna come and see? You're gonna have to wait for tomorrow's vlog. Thank you so much for watching this one, guys. And yeah, stay tuned. Salamat po!
Salamat po!
He's too relaxed.